Stefania, and her speech is going to be Getting Full Value of Your Solutions. Please help me welcome Stefania Alicino.
You know, Ravi learned to trade as a 5-year-old. First it was toys, then it was candy. And then he learned that he knew a lot about his hometown in India, in Madras. And he could sell the knowledge he had to tourists. Ravi had embarked on his career. It was no surprise, I guess, that he got into the business of import and export. He quickly got hired by an American firm that was domiciled in Madras. They liked him so much they sent him to the United States. He did really well. But he got really frustrated about the inefficiencies of his big organization. So, 10 years ago, he founded his own company, which now is $16 million. And it provides international freight forwarding and logistics. He has great solutions, wonderful products and services, but he was only generating 6% profitability. And that's in an industry that basically is generating 9%. Now, many people would say, this is a marketing problem. I say, it's a valuation challenge. You see, Ravi, like a lot of entrepreneurs, really, really smart entrepreneurs, took for granted what he does best. No one can pay you for your distinctive value if you don't first value your distinction. Customers really do value your solution, but you have to show them the value so they can buy it. Value is driven by 3 elements to ensure profitable premium profitability. 1, analysis. 2, execution. And 3, terms. Let's take a look at each one of these. Analysis. Ravi took for granted that anyone would value his ability to solve his customers' problems. But you know what? In a world of information overload, where there are tons of solutions, easy to find, the real challenge is knowing which solution is right for you. In an information overload world, analysis is the distinguishing factor that people value most. Ravi had never thought of that. But as he began to consider this, he decided that perhaps he should experiment. He did something wild. You see, initially, when he decided to have a conversation with a prospect, he had a checklist, and he would go through it, and frankly, he would frustrate the heck out of the prospect, because he didn't think of it as a value-oriented thing, and clearly, they didn't get any value feeling of it at all. But when he began to realize that there was another way, that he actually had some value to offer, he decided to try something entirely outrageous. He charged for his analysis. And you know what happened? The next prospect kicked him up the chain of command. He ended up talking to somebody way more important as a decision maker than he had previously done before. And out of that dialogue, well, it basically positioned Ravi to be able to do a much more customized solution, enhancing his value in the eyes of the prospect. And then on top of that, the prospect became to be much more engaged in the analysis, excited about the trade-offs on the different features and the benefits, where they could decide what was most important. In fact, one of these prospects actually asked Ravi to give him some additional consulting that he paid for analysis, so that he could consider a more comprehensive solution. Probably the most interesting thing that Ravi experienced was that as a result of this whole analysis paid for, the prospects were very clear on the urgency of making a decision now. This simple shift in thinking by Ravi all of a sudden escalated the profitability of his business in days. The next element of value that drives profitability is execution. Again, Ravi thought about what was going on in his business, and he noticed that he was very proud of his list of action steps that he would offer to his customers. In reality, the customers didn't really care about the action steps, the mechanics. What they really cared about was eliminating their pain. Okay? Maybe this was a possibility. Ravi decided to shift his presentation of this executive plan. He decided to offer a 4-stage pain elimination process. Step number 1, build a consensus with the team about what the issues of pain were. Step number 2 was to actually have them select the most onerous pain and beta test the customized solution, providing an ROI to management immediately. Third step, naturally, was to roll it out to all the other pains. The final step, very clever. Monthly optimization processes to make sure to up the ROI on the prior results. Ravi took a transaction and translated it into a relationship. He really converted himself, if you think about it, from being a commodity vendor into a trusted advisor. Execution was a process that Ravi realized he could use to cause his customers to team up with him and actually be able to get comfortable about taking subsequent steps. Execution became stair steps for faster action, for a much more comprehensive relationship. Value driving process, profitability increasing. Okay, that takes us to the third level of value creation, which is terms. Terms are simply what it takes for customers to deal with their constraints. Thinking about it that way, Ravi thought, gee, my average sale is about $1,500 because each time he'd offer a solution, historically he would offer the terms, payment with contract. And then he began to think about this. In talking to one of his customers, he realized that maybe he should offer terms as part of the discussion, just like he did with analysis and execution. And one of the customers was intrigued with one of the other options, if Ravi was going to offer him terms. And the customer took a $12,000 order because he was able to pay $1,000 a month, which was less than the $1,500 average price that was being originally offered, for a lot more value. But a lot of people like Ravi think that terms are always a delay in receiving cash. But that may not be the case. Terms are simply addressing a constraint. One of Ravi's customers actually wanted a very customized solution. In order to get that customized solution, he was going to have to do some serious preparation. The terms they agreed on is that the customer would pay $10,000 up front. Catch.